Yo, if you're new to the channel, thanks for watching Pond Saga 5. Season 1 is where it all started. You know what I'm saying? Mistakes were made and lessons were learned. But this was the beginning of something wild. Up next, y'all stay tuned for Season 2, Rebirth of Giants. Yo, if you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. In Season 1, I lost all of my monster fish. Everything that could have possibly went wrong in just one day. And in the end, all of my monster fish paid the price because of my careless mistakes. I took some time away from the fish hobby, but now I'm ready to give this predator pond another shot. But this time, I have to start all over again from scratch. Welcome to my journey. And get this pond back right. It's time to get this pond up and running again, but first we have to get it cycled. And I know just the trick to give it a jump start. By introducing small amounts of fish to the pond, we'll keep the ammonia levels low and also help the beneficial bacteria to build quickly. And today, I have my little helper with me and we're gonna get the job done. Let's get it. Put him in. Good job, buddy. These little fish will help to cycle the pond and also eat mosquito larvae. That's good. Good job, yay. This right here is my growout tank. I have a couple of clown loaches in here for cleanup duty, and I have 3 Oscars in here at the moment, but we will be adding more fish shortly. So now we have some Synodontis catfish, some koi fish, some Oscars, some clown loaches, and I have some little feeder fish at the top just for the Oscars. At this stage, it's a great source of protein for them and will help them to grow a lot faster. And it also gives these little guys a chance to work on their predatory instincts. And you can already see how his instincts are kicking in because he's trying to eat that feeder fish. Oh, buddy. Giant gourami right there. What's up? Don't be jumping like that. It acclimates you in the water, playboy. As you can probably tell, these Oscars are really starting to put on some size. And I've also added an oddball to the tank. This is my rope fish.
How'd you go up there?
I enjoyed the rope fish so much that I decided to get another one. These guys are always ending up in the strangest spots. This right here is a redtail catfish. I had never seen one in person before, and I just happened to be in the area of this one pet store that I visited for the first time. I spotted him and knew that I had to get him. These guys get huge, but I knew he would be a great addition to my predator tank. I decided to name him Panda. This catfish is probably one of the most prettiest ones that I've ever seen. When they are small, their tails are pink, and man, do they pack an appetite. I came across this little guy by chance as well. This is a hybrid redtail tiger shovel-nosed catfish mix. We decided to name him Cream Pie because of his colors. He has a little bit of yellowish brown tint to him. Now back to this pond for a little update. I've added some plants along with some sand substrate. The beneficial bacteria seems to be colonizing, and I've also added 2 filters to the mix, a 27-gallon tote and also a 5-gallon bucket filter. I built these 2 filters from scratch. I have never done it before, but was very happy with the outcome. I did it to help clean up some of the algae bloom that was on the bottom. Wow, as you can see, these 2 filters did one heck of a job. I also decided to add 2 more buckets at the bottom with some plants and some lava rock just for extra filtration. Man, I had no idea that the pond would look this great. The water is crystal clear. I also decided to add some pothos in here for extra filtration as well. Now that the pond is up and running, it's time for a trip to the pet store. I ended up getting some goldfish just to help to cycle the pond again. And today, I have another helper with me.
Fishy!
There you go.
These feeder fish goldfish serve 2 purposes. One purpose is to help me to filter this pond, and the other purpose is eventually they'll turn into feeder fish for my monster fish, which will be a great source of protein for my monster fish. But they won't become fish food depending on how fast they grow. Will they become snacks or will they not become snacks? Only time will tell.
You look at the pond.
I also decided to add some mystery snails to the ecosystem. They will eat leftover food or rotting plant matter.
Oh, I see a snail.
I got 3 of them in the actual tank. All the goldfish be hiding.
You see that glowing light in the bucket? I added a UV sterilizer light in there just to help out with algae blooms. This pond is coming along, and I think it's time to add more fish.
So, little buddy, we're gonna put you in a big pond today. Come on. See how you like it out here. You're getting big. See how big you can get. All right. There you go. Go handle business. Yeah, we can see how big you're gonna get soon. We're gonna put you in here. We're gonna put you in the big pond too. That's 2 down. Look at all the pretty colors on them. Man. We'll put you in here too. Let you grow up and get big. You're welcome. All right, 3 down. Let's go. 3 down. Put you in a big boy pond too. You're gonna like it over here. You graduated, my friend. There you go. Get on your way. Grow up and get big. It's the world like you know. Double in size, player.
There's so much space in this new pond that none of these fish know what to do with themselves.
There you go. Got my little hybrid out. Got my little shovel-nosed catfish hybrid. Let's go ahead and put him in the pond real quick. Feel like he done gained a little size, told me know what to do.
I thought it was a great idea to get these catfish into a larger space, but I soon realized that because the pond was so big, they had trouble finding their food.
You haven't been really growing like I want you to grow, so I'm gonna put you back in this tank right here. Hopefully you don't swallow any of my other fish.
I ended up putting Panda and Cream Pie back into the aquarium because they weren't able to find their food in the big pond, and I was afraid that they weren't going to grow because all the other fish were going to eat before them. Catfish move slow and they have bad eyesight, so it's a bit of a challenge trying to get food to them, especially when their competitors are a lot faster than them.
Hey, you buddy. Maybe to grow some more.
2 weeks later, after Panda and Cream Pie put some weight on, I decided to give it another shot and put them back into the big pond. But this time inside of floating baskets, which will separate them from the other fish and enable me to feed them directly.
Well, I got a 2-for-1 deal right here. Yes, sir. Let's do it. I'm about to put y'all in this thing I created so I can have some more space to feed y'all bad boys. Alright, you're getting big, sir. Come on. Come on, big boy. Good job. Alright, you go in this one. Look at the size of that beast. Look at the size of that man. He's never been big. About like 6 inches right now. Hello, sir. You getting pretty big. So look at you getting all big. Look at you trying to bite something. Come on, sir. Put you in here. Hey. I got you on this one right here. If I can feed you already schedule. Getting pretty decent, sir. And you still kind of small.
I spotted these in a nearby creek, so I decided to bring some back for the pond.
Let's see how my fish like this. And they gonna love these. Sheesh. About to go dump. Barely any tadpoles left from yesterday. As far as I can count. Sheesh. Man, these fish did a number on them bad boys. So how many tadpoles we have in here? What? None. They ate all the tadpoles. All of them. Well, round 2, baby. Let's see what we can do. Got some more. My hair like that completely. Let's see how many we got. Still more in there. One fell out. Don't worry, we got some more here. Every last drop. There we go. Trying to get them. I'm trying to be chance to get more inside? No. All right. Let me get mine. Look at all of these tadpoles, like hundreds of them. Adding tadpoles to your pond has two benefits. One, they help to eat all the algae.
And two, the fish eat the tadpoles for nutrients.
Look at this swarm. There are literally hundreds of tadpoles in here. You can see them sucking on the bottom, eating the algae. And a lot of them have legs.
These tadpoles got legs, bro.
So I decided to take a trip to the pet store. They confirmed that my new arrivals had just come in. On the next episode of Pond Saga 5, we take a trip to the pet store.
We got two baby. Excited to grow these bad boys out.
I wonder what I'm going to buy this time.
Look at them. Wow, little babies.
Stay tuned. I made a trip to the pet store. I called them in advance and asked them if my shipment came in, and to my surprise, the new arrivals had just gotten there. At the time, these little guys were hard to get, and I guess they're hard to breed in captivity.
We got two baby redtail catfish right here. Very excited to grow these bad boys out. Look at them. Wow, little babies. We got two baby redtails right here. Look at them. Toe jam and pork pie. Got some feeders right here. Tiny. Tiny redtail catfish. Cool.
I ended up coming across two more redtail catfish that I couldn't pass up. This right here is toe jam and pork pie. And man, when I say they were tiny, they were the smallest ones that I've ever come across. And because I had two more new redtails in the arsenal, I had to make some changes to my setup, and I'll walk you guys through that.
It's got another tank, just cleaned it up, 55 gallon. Gonna do some things to this right here. Just gotta put some more blue on the bottom of the bottom. And this tank gonna be all blued out on the inside. Coming along pretty good.
I came across this used 55 gallon aquarium. I got it for a steal. This tank only cost me $25. I guess the people that had this tank were moving and they didn't have a place for it, so they were looking to get rid of it ASAP, and I'm glad they were because I needed it. This tank didn't come with a top or a stand, but that wasn't a deal breaker for me. I made my own stand out of 2x4 pieces and also cinder block bricks. And I used a blue poster board from the Dollar Tree to make the background, which came out awesome. I also ended up making my own lids and putting a knob on top of them. Since this aquarium is used, I had to make sure that there were no leaks in sight, because if there were leaks, I would have to find it and fix it.
About to set up these tanks outside, side by side.
When starting a new scape on a tank, there are typically two types of sand that I like to use. Either pool filter sand or play sand. Whichever one I can get my hands on. But at the moment, play sand has been my go-to, simply because the stores usually always have it on deck.
Another tank right here. It's the 75 right here. I got the 55 finna get set up right here. It's gonna be a fun time.
It's a black tank right here, Philip. As you can see, the water is real cloudy right now. In a few days, it won't be though. So what I'm deciding to do is to put like a mesh bag of lava rock into a tank to help house beneficial bacteria during the process that I'm cycling both of these tanks. That's what I'm gonna do. Put this over here. They can have a place to colonize. I'm gonna put another bag. Let's do that process. I'm gonna put it, drop it off in there. Either cloudy. I just put a bunch of sand in there, but it'll clear up in a few days. Probably wondering how I'm gonna power these two tanks right here. I got one of these right here, and I got a power, I guess like a power protector box for the weatherproof, so I could put all my cords and stuff in here, so I could put it right there, possibly on it, in between these two tanks right here. Also, I heard some good things about this bad boy right here, so it's gonna be my first time using internal filter aquarium pump. So it's pumping right now.
This water is super cloudy, but the filters will take care of that. The blue poster board looks so good on the 55 gallon, I decided to put one on the 75 as well. It's one day later, and these tanks are really starting to clear up. In about 2 more days, both of these tanks should be crystal clear.
Got the 55 to my left and the 75 to my right. I DIY glued out the back of the tanks. I used some poster board from the Dollar Tree and taped them on the back. Real nice side by side so the rain can't get into them. I got bricks and 2x4 holding it up. Also, to combat against the sun, I put some of these Velcro strips down, and I got a tarp in the back so I could cover it, you know, in case we get some high winds, or basically to keep the sun out during the daytime when I don't want it in here, so I don't have an algae bloom. But yeah, coming along real nice, man. Waiting for them to cycle so they can be crystal clear. I got the heaters right here. I got the wave maker. I got this new submersible air pump. Doing the job. I see it's picking up most of the dust from the dust particles from the sand. And I got a wave maker in here also to add some agitation for it. It's a real cool project right here. So I got the hang on back right here. I made these myself. I made this cover myself. Put a little knob on it. Baby redtails right here on growing out. This guy's getting big. He's at least, I would say at least 6-7 inches right there. He still needs some more growing to do. I've never seen this guy eat. I don't know what he eats if he doesn't.
Look at this 55 gallon and this 75 gallon side by side. Wow! These tanks came out perfect. You can see how Panda is enjoying the space. I couldn't have done a better setup for this redtail and redtail hybrid catfish growout tank. I'm so glad that I did sand substrate because it's a lot easier for me to clean because these catfish are gonna get dirty. These right here are my 55 gallon and my 75 gallon growout tank side by side.
Let's see if I can feed a little baby Mega Mouth.
This right here is Orion. I also ended up picking him up. So now I have a couple of different redtail catfish in my arsenal.
Yeah, already putting some size on them since I got them a week ago. So I've had them not even a week yet. This Thursday will be a week. It's Tuesday right now. So I just fed him some shrimp. He got a little belly on him right now. Look at his little belly. About to pop.
So I have these catfish separated. The smaller ones, I have them inside of breeder boxes. So this way it'll be easier to feed them to make sure that they get their nutrition. And also I don't have to worry about the bigger catfish eating them. This right here is toe jam and pork pie. I've had them for about 2 weeks. This right here is Oreo. I've had them for about a month. And this guy right here is Panda. And I've had him for about 3 months. And this right here is Cream Pie. I've had him for about 2 months. So I ended up doing something with the baby redtail catfish. I was confident that they would be able to find their food. So I ended up moving them into the 75-gallon with other fish.
Get it. There you go. There you go.
I have some Oscars in here. I have the clown loaches in here. And I also added some black ghost knifefish in here as well. This is a community tank and they all seem to be getting along. And there's a bunch of space for all these fish to grow out.
Wonder who's hungry. We're gonna smell it first. There you go. You're welcome. I gotta feed you before Panda wake up.
Panda is really starting to put on some size. He's a very aggressive eater. So I have to try to feed this hybrid as much as I can so he can basically compete for food. If he doesn't grow, he's going to get bullied. I'm going to show you just how much Panda is capable of eating in one sitting. This guy is like a vacuum. I don't know if you can see it too well from this camera angle, but his belly looks like it's almost about to burst. And this is the reason why when I feed this tank, poor Cream Pie barely gets a chance to eat. Because the moment I drop the food in here, Panda tries to devour everything in sight. Question: why are routine water changes a necessity? Answer: water is the basis for life, which is why the quality of the water hosting life is undeniably important. This is especially true when it comes to your aquarium. Because aquariums are closed systems, nutrients, contaminants, and chemicals can easily accumulate in which, with time, will cause an unbalanced ecosystem and poor water quality. Water quality is not just an aesthetic concern, but crucial for the continuous health and growth of your aquarium inhabitants. Regular tank maintenance is critical in maintaining your aquarium's water quality. One key element for routine maintenance is water changes. Here's how I do my weekly routine.
DIY overflow pipe that I made myself from PVC pipe. This helps out with water changes. Very simple. Especially if you have a pond on the outside or either aquarium on the outside. But basically put it in like this right here. And you bring it out like this right here. Voila. Water change. You don't have to use a python. You can if you want to get little particles from the bottom and stuff like that. What I usually do is just do this right here. I probably drop this like 40%. Add some water conditioner, some more water inside. These work great on outdoor aquariums and especially on ponds. From my experience, they work best on ponds that are maybe like 2 to 3 feet tall. When you get into the larger ponds, in my experience, they don't work as great. But yeah, that's how I do my water changes. Set a timer, walk away, come back. You can see still dropping this water down. If I let this run in here and leave it in here, it's gonna drop about down to this right here, this level right here. But this is a newly established tank, so I don't think I'm gonna drop it that low. Probably gonna do like a 40% water change just to get the fish used to it. But yeah, man, this is real therapeutic right here. And for little finer particles, I'll use this device right here if I want to get, you know, just some little finer particles that's up in here. I'll use this device right here. Hell, this is called a python, by the way. Alright. Personally like to use these 3 products. I've been using for the past 2 years now. And they work great. This right here is to help you with reducing the nitrates and put some beneficial bacteria in. This is water conditioner. This right here is aquarium salt. It's pretty good. Comes in handy if any of your fish have ick, or you know what I'm saying, you just want to promote fish health. Really. Now we're just adding some water in there since we already treated the water with aquarium salt. Also put some beneficial bacteria in there and also put some water conditioner in there. I do multiple water changes a week, sometimes at the most 2, depending on how heavy I feed the fish, because when you feed the fish a lot, they do produce a lot of bio load. And with catfish, they eat a lot and they poop a lot. So I'm trying to keep the nitrates as low as possible, keep the water clean. I did a 40% water change on this bad boy, filling it up. Trying to hurry up before the rain comes, like it's about to storm. And there you have it. Another successful water change done. Fish are looking perfect as usual. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.
Man, this thing is filthy. It's a dirty job, but once again, somebody's gotta do it. Here we go. We're gonna be doing a little bit of aquarium maintenance. This right here is my bag of lava rock. I'm cleaning it in actual tank water because I want to keep the beneficial bacteria that has already built up. The beneficial bacteria, little organisms that's attached to the lava rock, they are so important. They help to basically keep the aquarium water crystal clear, and they also help to break down the waste that's left inside of the tank. Here I go, putting it back in. Next, I'm going to be taking up my filter floss. This right here is also full of beneficial bacteria. The filter floss basically helps to polish the water and, you know, to keep it, you know, clear as well. And I also have beneficial bacteria built up in here. We're also going to clean this in tank water. You know what I'm saying? It looks real nasty. It looks real disgusting. And you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, it's always good to have some gloves on deck when you do this. But, you know, if you don't, you know, sometimes you just got to get in there and get gritty. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you wash your hands thoroughly a few different times after you get done. Here we go, putting it back in here so it can do the job that it's meant to do. And, you know, this water right here is like, you know, it's like liquid gold to some people. They use the water that has the fish waste in it to actually fertilize their plants, and it helps them to grow. They use this stuff as fertilizer. You know what I'm saying? It's organic, so, you know what I mean? I'm also going to be giving the lava rock that I had inside the tank a rinse as well in this tank water right here. I usually try to keep a bag of lava rock inside of the tank. This way, if I want to hurry up and cycle another tank in less than 24 hours and throw some fish in, I can, because of this bag of lava rock. It's basically a hack. That's how you could basically, you know, cycle your tank a lot quicker rather than waiting. You know, some people wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks before they throw fish in. And by you having this lava rock and the beneficial bacteria already built up, I don't have to wait that long. Just want to give it a quick rinse, you know, to get any debris, any fish food, any particles off of it. The lava rocks have a bunch of holes in it all over it. And that's basically where the beneficial bacteria, they reside and where they hide out at. You know what I'm saying? They really come in handy, especially if you have fish particles or waste on the inside of the tank. You know what I'm saying? And if it lands on the bag, and you know what I'm saying, the bacteria can go ahead and, you know, discard of it. This right here is my internal filter. This is how you basically clean these. You basically take it apart, you know, inspect it, and then you have to basically open it and then take the sponges out. So right now, what I'm going to be doing with this sponge is I'm going to be throwing it also in tank water right here and throwing, you know, the rest of the pieces in here, just so we can go ahead and give this a clean and give this a rinse out. It's DIY Overflow really comes in handy. You know what I'm saying? It's still doing a water change, and while it's trickling the water out, I'm actually using the water to my advantage. This is the second sponge that comes equipped with it. Also rinsing these out, you know, it has a lot of beneficial bacteria built up in these sponges as well. Pouring this stuff right here out into the grass. I wish I had some plants going right now. I'd put it in there. If we're gonna rinse this out with tank water as well, just because, you know, it's trickling out. I can clean it with tap water if I wanted to, but I'm being lazy today. So I have a whole system and a whole routine going on, and it makes it a lot easier for me. By doing it this way, it saves me time, and with the time that I've saved, I could be doing something else. And once you find a routine, it makes, you know, this hobby a lot more fun, because without a routine, this just becomes a chore. And this is the reason why some of the people that I've spoken to in the past, why they don't keep fish, is because they think that it's too much work. But really, it is a lot of work, but there's ways around it to make it a lot easier. Once you figure it out, it's really no work at all. So I'm cleaning both of my tanks right now. I'm doing a water change. So basically, doing it like this to do a water change, if I do both of the tanks at one time, it'll probably take me around 10 minutes to let the water out and about 5 minutes to put the water back in. So you're probably looking around 15 minutes at the most. I'm adding in water conditioner to make the tap water safe, and I'm also going to put some more beneficial bacteria back in here. With every water change, you remove beneficial bacteria, and because it plays such an important role, I always add more after every water change. Now, it's time to put this filter back together. Just like that. Here it is. I stay on top of my water changes. Even though the water looks crystal clear before water change, it doesn't necessarily mean that the water is safe for the fish, which is a big misconception that people have. Here, I'm just gonna sprinkle some aquarium salt in here. Usually people add this stuff when their fish are sick. It helps, you know what I'm saying, helps fish get over sicknesses such as ick. But you never know, you know what I'm saying, what fish are going through all the time. So I just sprinkle some in here from time to time, just in case if I could catch something before it happens. I'm multitasking. While the DIY overflow is emptying the water out of one tank, I have the hose in the other tank, filling it up to make this process a little bit faster. The water level has dropped to where I want it, so now it's time to take this out. Set this down to the side. Now, I'm adding water conditioner into this tank as well as more beneficial bacteria. I do the same exact routine for both tanks. And it's good to have a routine because you don't want to forget to add these things and then start adding water back into it, because then you can kill all your fish. So if you forget to put water conditioner, which basically makes the tap water safe for your fish, a few hours later, you won't have any fish left. This right here is beneficial bacteria. It comes in a powder form as well. I usually only add this to my pond, but just for the sake of the video, I wanted you guys to see what it looks like, so I decided to add some to my tank. A good indication that all my fish are healthy is that I see constant movement in the tank while I'm doing a water change. If you're ever doing a water change and you see your fish sometimes sitting off to the side and not very active, you could have a problem on your hands. They might be going into shock. That's why it's also important to measure the temperature of the water when you're adding it back into the tank. I always find this little guy hiding behind this bag of lava rock. These bags of lava rock have two purposes. One, to house the beneficial bacteria, and also two, to provide some shelter for fish that are a little bit more shy than the rest. It gives them a nice hiding space so they can feel comfortable. Another successful water change with the help of my DIY overflow. You know what? For a treat, I'm going to show you guys how to build one of these, so sit tight and let's get into this work. This is my DIY overflow build tutorial. and this is what you're gonna need to get the job done. So for this build, you can pick up these items at a Lowe's or a Home Depot. You're gonna need 1/2-inch PVC pipe. You're gonna need a tape measurer. You're going to need PVC cutters, and you're going to need 6 1/2-inch 90-degree elbows. All right, you guys had more than enough time to write this stuff down. Make your list, because now we're gonna get into this build. Let's go. Right here is a 1/2-inch PVC pipe, 1/2-inch PVC, 90-degree elbows, a PVC cutter, and also a tape measure. On the DIY overflow, you want one side to be longer than the other. On these two bottom pieces, we're gonna make them 5 inches. On these side pieces right here, we're gonna make them 4 inches. And on this middle bridge piece right here, we're gonna make it 3 inches long. And on this other side piece right here, we're gonna make it about 1 foot. So before you start putting this project together, you're gonna have to make sure you have about 7 cut pieces. Now we're gonna line up the pieces. As you can see, once it's connected, one piece is longer than the other. So this way, when you drop it down inside the tank, gravity can do its job. And just like that, here's your finished product. After you make sure that it's the length that you want it, you can use PVC cement or glue to keep it together. So time to see if the finished product works. I'm gonna put it in once again. I'm gonna let it hit the bottom. Let it submerge. Longer side facing out. Remember just to pull straight up, to drop it straight down. That didn't go as planned. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour the water out and we're gonna submerge it again. Sometimes this happens, so I'm glad that this happened on this video. All right, boom. We're gonna move it upside down, get all the bubbles in there. You're gonna lift it up quick. Drop it down.
Wow.
There we go. DIY overflow, folks. There you have it. The water level is going to drop about right there. As you can see, the water level is slowing down and it has now stopped. The water level has dropped to where the PVC pipe begins. This is my Tiger Oscar right here. I'm going to be putting him in the 55 gallon. See how he fills up. Wow, look at these Oscars. As you can tell, they have grown quite a bit. I have my Tiger Oscar, my albino Tiger Oscar, my albino red Oscar, and then also my red Oscar here. They didn't seem too interested about the goldfish that I put in here, so I decided to put some tilapia in here as well. This tank looks okay during the daytime, but after I clean it up, I'll show you what it looks like at night. Stay tuned. These fish bring this tank to life. Look at all the colors they have. The fish are healthy, happy, swimming around. Look at the oranges, the blacks, the whites. Man, these fish are something else, man. This is what I love about Oscars, is that they come in a variety of colors.
What is that clown loach doing in the corner over there? With the catfish. What's your new buddy? Black Ghost Nice over here chilling. Bamboo plant still doing really good after being in the water. What's up, guys? You guys must be hungry. Panda over here going crazy, think he wants something to eat. Big Oscars, big catfish, little Oscars, little catfish.
I did a 20% water change and I decided to feed the fish. These are all baby fish here. I have some clown loaches in here, some Oscars in here, some redtail catfish in here, some black ghost knife in here. Since they are all juveniles, they have to eat at least twice a day in order to put some size on. With some of these fish, when you can't get them to eat, they die after just a couple of days because they're so small. They don't have anything, they don't have any fat stored in order to survive off of. And during this stage, they all have big appetites. The catfish have been doing well. They've been eating. I dropped some tilapia in here for them because they need something a little bit bigger. These little red things that you see on the ground, these are actually frozen bloodworms that I thawed out. As you can see, these fish are just having a go at it. The black ghost knife really seems to be liking these bloodworms right here, I noticed. And they typically only come out to feed at night. But if you feed them a few times during the daytime, what I notice is that if there's food available, they'll typically come out of their hiding places just to feed. And it also helps if you don't have overly aggressive fish in the tank as well, then they'll come out. But then sometimes they can become the aggressors themselves. When you see all the fish eating like this means that they are healthy. And this is what I like to see.
Alright, buddy. You gotta go to the big pond. You're being too mean. I really like your colors, but you gotta go to the big pond, Pedro. You gotta be nicer. Nah, I gotta put you in here with Bruce.
This guy was showing some aggression issues, so I decided to take him out and put him into the big pond. I decided to do a late night feeding and to add some feeder fish in here. I do this every once in a while. I usually feed them pellets, but every once in a while, I give them a treat. At the end of the day, these are still predator fish. And I try my best to mimic the type of things that they would eat in the wild.
So we're gonna get Panda to eat from my hand. Come on, buddy. Good job. Good job, buddy. There's two. go. Want this? Come on. Don't be shy. There you go.
This right here is how I train all the catfish to eat out of my hand. I do this when they're small, so when they become larger, they won't be afraid of me.
I wonder if you want some more. Come on. Too full? Come on.
All the fish are doing extremely well and they're starting to grow fast. So now I think it's time to get them into bigger spaces so they can grow out even more. Today, we're going to transfer this guy to the pond because he's grown so much in the past 2 weeks that he's been in his tank. I hate to see him go, but we have to make some more space for the smaller catfish that have to grow out as well. It's time to slowly acclimate these fish. I'm going to let them sit for 20 minutes or so while I get back to the fish transfer. There you go, little fella. All right, time to get these guys in the pond. While trying to capture cream pie, one of his spines ended up poking me, and that didn't feel too good. Out of all my catfish, he's probably the most difficult to handle. Now it's time to get my biggest red-tailed catfish, which is Panda, and get him inside the pond. Thanks for watching. Until next time, guys. Today I'm going to show you how to take apart the VivoSun 800 gallons per hour submersible pump. You don't have to clean these pumps that often, but you still do have to clean them because they do get dirty. I've had this in my pond for a few months and I think it's about time I take it apart and clean it. These pumps aren't that expensive. They get the job done. You can get them for about $20 off of Amazon. So the first thing you want to do is take off this black piece right here. And the easiest way I find to do it is just to get a knife and to wedge it in the slot right here. Make it come apart. Once you do that, you can take it off easily. Here we got some gunk right here that we're going to clean out later. Right here it has a propeller. And there's some magnet propeller. So we're gonna take this piece out right here. And what you can do is just try to get something to wedge in between the propellers, just like the knife, to pull it out. Now you can go ahead and give it a clean.
I got a pellet train, these bad boys right here. Every time I put pellets in, they're making a mess of the pellets, so I have to put a bottle feeder down in here to clean up the mess. Well, I got a bucket of water right here. Today, I'm gonna be transferring one of the feather fin catfish to put into my my monster fish growl tank while I try to pellet train the bass, because I need someone to clean up at the bottom, so I basically need a bottom feeder. So I'm gonna come in here, let's see if I can catch one of these bad boys. See if it'll let me. Nope, that's not what I wanted. All right. Don't make this difficult, but I know you are going to. Did I get one? Did I get one? Not what I wanted again. Okay. Man, these Snuggly catfish are extremely fast. Okay. Okay. Boom. Think I got one. Nope, didn't get one again. All right, buddy. Make this easy. Do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Of course you want to do it the hard way. Took forever, but I was successful. Beautiful Snuggly catfish right here. All right, buddy. There you go. Trying to figure out what he is. Everybody looking around. It's not food, pal. Can't eat that part, should have had the worm.
So on the previous episode, as you guys remember, I moved all of my fish from out of the aquarium and I put them inside of a holding cage inside of my pond so I could have a chance to give the outdoor aquarium a makeover. In addition to that, I ended up going to the pet store and seeing some really cool silver dollars that I've wanted for a while, but I couldn't find them locally. So when I saw them at the pet store, it was an opportunity, so I took it. And I also got some Snuggly catfish right here that I've wanted for a while. I also couldn't find these for a while at any local pet stores, but since I was there and I saw them, I decided to get them. And since my outdoor aquarium wasn't done cycling yet, I decided to also put these guys inside of the holding cage inside my pond for a couple of days until the tank cycled, so I could just move all the fish at one time.
Wow.
Voila, here we go. I decided that I did want a background, so I went to the Dollar Tree and I grabbed some gold poster board. I wasn't sure how it was gonna look, but the moment I stuck it on the back and laid eyes on it. I fell in love with this color. It's gold and it's really cool. I also decided to add some clay pots just to give the fish a place to hide. The silver dollars were bigger and easier to catch, so I decided to add them to the tank first. It's time to get these guys acclimated. Since the water is a lot warmer in the tank than it is in the actual pond, I'm going to be putting this water in here every 5 minutes. The silver dollars were a little skittish at first, but when they got adapted to their environment, they soon started to school and swim around. This is the first time that I've ever had koi before, and I noticed that since I had them in the holding cage and I was feeding them pretty well, they've really put on some size, which is crazy because I didn't know that they grew this fast, but now I know. Yeah, they've definitely almost doubled in size. I'm gonna speed this process up and get the fish inside so we can see what the tank looks like. Gotcha. This came out dope, straight up. The colors, the green, the gold, the orange, the red, the river rock, everything's coming together. So glad that I decided to escape this tank because I really didn't have any idea of where to start. I'm glad with the outcome. The fish are swimming around, not looking stressed out. They're happy. It's a good thing. I wonder what this will look like at night. This tank looks so good at night, especially with the gold and the silver dollars popping off the gold. Man, I hate making videos like this, but as fish keepers, it comes with the territory, man. I did a water change in this tank earlier today. Came back out here. And all my fish, except for one, are dead. We got the arowana right here that I've been growing out for some time now. Damn, man. Got my featherfin catfish that's brand new. Got two of my largemouth bass that I caught. The only survivors from this. Are you kicking? So we can bring this guy back to life. The only thing I can think of is what happened today was I cleaned the filter sponges with tap water because I didn't really think anything of it because I thought I had enough beneficial bacteria built up in here because I had some lava rock. But apparently not. You seem like you're still breathing. See if I can bring this guy back to life. Well, nobody here goes to waste. I do have monster fish, so I'll just feed them to the other fish another day. Now I'm not sure what just happened because this pump just went off and then now it just cut back on. So now I'm not sure what's going on. Is this pump stopping or something? I'm gonna have to keep my eyes on this pump because it just stopped and then it just started out of nowhere because I was getting ready to film it, stopped, and it just started again. I gotta keep my eye on this pump because maybe they didn't have enough oxygen because usually when I do water change, I don't have any problems. This may be the culprit. I may have to get another one of these. Wow, this pond is doing phenomenal. The goldfish in here are putting on some size. They're now too large for my Oscars to eat them, which is a good thing because now I get to enjoy them as well. These Oscar fish are also starting to put on some size and they look really good in this pond. The rain just made this get so high. I've never put this much water in here, but I kind of like the look though. Pond filter I built.
Doing great. 2 filters in this bad boy. Loving it. Rope fish down there chilling. Y'all better eat that food, stop making it go to waste now. Caught some of these mosquito fish at the local creek. See which one's the last. So most of them, majority of them look pretty healthy. Swimming around and stuff. Some of them on the bottom, but that's to be expected. I acclimated them. See which ones make it.
The pond is doing great. All the fish are thriving. But there's just one thing that I would change about this pond, and that's the filtration system. Currently, I'm running 2 DIY filters on this pond, which is great for the amount of water that I have in it at the moment. But eventually, I will have to upgrade because I'm going to add more water and also more fish to this pond. So I'll need something that will be able to handle the bio load. And I'm also going to be upgrading the actual pump, so I'll need something to be able to handle that as well. Even though this pond is big enough for all of my fish, I still want to build my monster catfish pond just because I want to start hand feeding my redtail catfish. The catfish are also starting to put on some size, but they should be a lot bigger than this, and I think the reason why is when I go to feed the pond, the Oscars are attacking the food before the redtail catfish even notice that there's food available. Just so the redtail catfish don't have to compete with the Oscars, I decided to make the pieces of tilapia larger than what the Oscars can eat. But sometimes these pieces can even be too large for the catfish to eat. This pond is looking great, but it can look better. But hey, it's time to get started on our growout pond for our monster catfish. Time to get this project underway. I've been wanting to do it for quite some time. I just really didn't have a chance to do it. I got 8 bags of play sand and a bag of lava rock. These 50-pound bags of sand were no joke to lift. Now it's time to give this sand a good rinse. Time to put the sand in the tub and fill her up. Even though I rinsed the sand off, the water is still cloudy, but it's all good. I got a magic trick for that. It's time to build a new filter. Stuck with 1-inch bulkheads for the outflows, and I caulked them with liquid nail. Instead of using a crate, I actually used a grid divider tray, and I also added pot scrubbies and sponges. Let's get into this quick work. Layer 1 check. Layer 2, check. Layer 3, check. Layer 4, check. Now it's time to rinse out our lava rock and pea gravel. This is what's going to house the beneficial bacteria. The time has come to test this filter out and to see what it's made of. And if you've been watching this long, then you know what it's made of. Let's get it. I'm using this DC pump. What I like about this pump is it comes with a controller and you can control the flow. So what I'm going to do is put it on a lower setting and then raise the setting to see how much flow this can actually take before it overflows. My drain out valve in the back isn't leaking, so that's a good sign. As you can see, the water is starting to fill up quite nicely. There are no leaks in sight, which is always a plus. Remember when I told you guys that I have a trick to clear up this pond water? Because of all the dust that the sand accumulated, this is going to be the key to get this to become crystal clear. Off camera, I also added a UV sterilizer to this build, just like I did my previous build. Here, I turned up the maximum flow amount just to see and get an idea of how much water and how much flow this bad boy can actually take. It turns out that this 27-gallon tote is the ideal size for this pond. Now it's time for the grand finale.
Wow.
As you can see, this pond filter gets the job done. On the previous episode, we prepared the pond for the new arrivals. Now there's just one thing left to do. You guessed it. Let's get into this video.
Baby redtails right here on growing out. This guy's getting big. He's at least, I would say at least 6-7 inches right there. He still needs some more growing to do. I have never seen this guy eat. How am I gonna capture these boys? This is what I'm trying to figure out right now to put them to the big pond. I don't know if y'all ever tried to catch a monster fish or catfish. They're extremely fast. All right, big boy. Let's use the spot. There you go. One down, two down. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. All right, big boy. There you go. Three down. This is the biggest one right here. This is Panda. Man, Panda has put on some size, y'all. So look at Panda, and then look at my hand. Look at my hand versus him. He got so big. Come on, buddy. The new habitat. Don't stress him out too much. There you go, buddy. Lift it up some. There you go. There you go. Three. This is Orion. 4 down. 1 more to go. Here you go. There you go, one more. Out of all the catfish to catch, this one by far was the most elusive. Definitely the most elusive. The hybrid one. He's really pretty, as you see. He has like leopard print on him. So hard to catch, man. Let's go to the new spot. There you go. Come on. There you go. So we got pork pie, toe jam, cream pie, Oreo, and the big kahuna panda.
Season 2 hit different. I have more tanks. I have better setups. I have more monster fish. I started to do things with intention. Everything was intentional. Every build had a purpose. Every fish had a future. The giants were growing fast, but I was building something even bigger. And what came next changed everything. Y'all stay tuned for season 3, Chronicles of New Legends.
Yo, if you're new to the channel, thanks for watching Pond Saga 5.